Hello everyone and welcome to a slice of my life. It is mail call time from Spinetic Spinners aka Finetic EDC. And the reason why I said that is because this is kind of less of a spinner, more of an EDC item. Well, maybe I should say that it treads the fine line between both worlds. So anyway, this is the Tide Pool and it's finally here. It's been quite a while, I gotta say, but it's finally here. And that's because I opted for the non-tracking international shipment, and well, you know, because of the pandemic you have to expect some delays, but yeah, it's finally here after a few months and I'm really excited to check it out. But before we crack it open, I'm gonna say that it says here metal toy. I don't think I got my Tide Pool in metal, but who knows. Here we go. Wow, that's a very nice laser etching on the tin can, and I like this texture. It's no longer that smooth finish. This has some kind of a very fine hammered finish. I like it a lot. Nice touch. Check out all these things here. What is this? Is this an invoice? Yep, it's an invoice, so I'm going to put it aside. We have a sticker here, Finetic EDC, like I mentioned to you guys, Finetic EDC, and this looks like possibly some kind of a tool, maybe an opening tool or something, because it looks like there's a little hex bit here on top. Well, it's printed, and I like the fact that it's printed in 2 colors. Good job, Josh. Good job. Real 3D printing skills right there. I mean, I have no idea how this is done. It's like using one main filament color for the base, and then after that using a different filament color for the top. This blue here is super vivid. I really like it. And then here it says, yep, it's a, I guess it's an introduction letter of sorts. Thank you for the purchase of a Tide Pool coin. In this box is a Tide Pool with 4 springs and balls installed for maximum clicker mode, 1 3D printed lighthouse tool with a 4mm hex for unscrewing, and then the Tide will be set up in clicker mode with a steel ball bearings and springs. So there is this thing that Josh also mentioned to me on Facebook, and he said if clicking is too hard, you can remove 2 of the balls and springs for lighter clicking motion, because he said that apparently the click is a little bit stronger than the original Tide, which I have right here. So this is the original Tide coin that I have, guys. This was the very first version. Yeah, this one's in stainless steel, and you could see that I was quite happily clicking with it. And let's check out what is inside this tin can. But I'd like to say that I like this tin can. I like the finish on it. It's got a choking hazard on the back, and you guys can check out the website. It's fineticedc.com. Also, I think that you could access it through the, whoa, that's nice. Let me finish my sentence. The Spinetic Spinners website. But yes, this, oh wow, wait, okay, my hair's standing. This is exciting. Okay, this is a nice frosted acrylic finish, and I'm digging this. Look at, what? Oh goodness, this is cool. This is so cool. Wow, just comparing the Tide Pool next to the original Tide, I know that it's quite difficult for me to show you guys the detailing here on the faces, the 2 faces, but it's like a raised outer lip and then a angled dish going into a kind of like a contoured area. This is not really a flat. There's a slight upward angle and then a flat spot right in the middle here. Seems to be, yep, it's mirrored on both sides, even though this one here has the slot for the 4mm hex tool here. I am surprised. Okay, unlike the knurlings are a bit wider than what is featured on the original Tide. Let me just get this. Let's try clicking it. Oh ho ho. Wow, this is good. Okay. Dude. Okay. This is cool. I can't do it the other way. Okay, I understand now. So it is very much like the original Tide, where one half of it includes the lip itself. So this lip all the way to this part over here, where this particular pin, this screw goes in, that's one whole piece, and then the other half kind of sits inside and goes into that lip over there. It sleeves in, and so it is the same here, even though you can't really tell because the whole thing is made of acrylic, or how do you guys pronounce it, acrylic? But you could see that, yeah, just this layer here is the one that's moving, and the outer layer is a solid piece, right? Oh, that is nice. That is really nice. Okay, this clicking feedback is good. I think Joshua's really got it down. Kudos to everyone over at Finetic EDC or Spinetic Spinners. This click, wow, okay, you got this click feeling down pat. I think this is something that I was hoping to get when I first got the Tide. See, you guys can tell this is actually a lot lighter. There is a slight clicking thing, but it doesn't have that very authoritative snap. But this, yeah, this is what I'm talking about, man. I love that. Okay, you know, for fun, let's just open this up and let's be mindful of whether or not the springs will fly out. If it does, then I'll have to salvage those springs, and if they do fly out of frame, I'm gonna have to pick it up. So yeah, let's just, okay, there we go. So it's like that, sitting in there, and I guess righty tighty lefty loosey. Yep. And let's just, okay, untwist it. Yep, you could feel the springs kind of loosening up right now. Wow, even as you turn it. So that's how much spring tension there is. There we go. So that's the cap right there, and then I'm gonna be really careful here and just lift it up. There we go. So the 4 springs are sitting underneath these stainless steel ball bearings. You can see there's a spring right there, and you know what, I should get the case open again so I could put the, oops, see, they just sit right there. So I'm gonna use the case and put those steel ball bearings in there so that we could kind of transform this into a spinner. So all 4 of these in there, and the 4 springs just go right there. That's really nice, really neat. And then now we have the 2 halves. So as you guys could see, now it's a better illustration for you. You have 1 half with a, oh, that's awesome. It's a retention, screw cap retention right here that holds the bearing in here. It's an R188 bearing. Dude, that's so cool. So it's the entire piece that actually screws in there. This is awesome, man. Ah, so now we know. We could actually remove the bearing altogether. Well, yeah, you don't want to remove it and then you won't be able to hold the whole thing in place. But you can actually swap out to whatever bearing you like, whatever R188 bearing that you like. And then you have this half as well. And I like that this half here is kind of like smooth, a bit polished, buffed acrylic kind of finish. But here it's a bit frosted and frosted all around. So let's just convert this into spinner mode, where you could see it is now almost free spinning now. Let me grab this piece here. You know what, it doesn't want to come out, so I'll just have to screw this in first. Make sure that I've got a certain amount of tension here. Okay, that's that. And then I'm gonna wiggle this out. There we go. And right now it's a spinner. See, it's spinning. The only downside is that, yep, the button here is really, really small. But if I'm not wrong, I should be able to find, like, say for example, half of a button, because that is a grub screw right there that's holding this in place. As long as the button's tall enough, I'll be able to use that half of the button on this half of the spinner or the Tide pool, and then use it like a regular spinner. But right now I can still use it as a regular spinner. It's just that the contact point here is really, really small and narrow, because it is just that screw bit or that screw cap part. If I pinch it with my fingernail on my thumb, yeah, not as satisfying, I must say, because it is acrylic, so you don't actually feel any kind of vibration. Plus the fact that the build of the Tide pool is more or less rather hollow, so it isn't as satisfying. In fact, actually I didn't even find the original Tide very satisfying as a spinner. So yep, this is what I'm going to do now. Turn it back, or convert it back, or transform it back into the clicker, and let's just use 2 springs and 2 ball bearings, yeah, instead of all 4. Let's see how that fares. Okay, so I'm gonna fit just 2 springs, 1 on each side, and 2 ball bearings. Just like that. Then very carefully make sure that you don't wobble this, shake it too much, or flip it over. You gotta line it up and sit it in place. Now there, with the alignment, awesome. Yeah, because it's acrylic and it's clear, you could actually see the alignment of the slots there. And then now we're going to tighten this. This does feel a bit soft. Now it feels like as if it's going to be the same amount of haptic feedback that you'll get out of this original Tide. Yep, so it's tightened now. Yeah, it's a lot easier to actuate now. Yeah, so this is rather satisfying. It's still satisfying, I must say. More satisfying than the OG Tide. Yeah, because this one doesn't have that satisfying click, but not as satisfying as having 4 instead of 2. So I think my favorite combination or my favorite setup would be having all 4 in this and then just clicking the hell out of this. This is pretty cool. This is pretty awesome, everyone. So yeah, I just wanted to showcase this to you guys. This is the Tide pool and I've got the acrylic version. But at this point, I'd like to give a shout out to Joshua over at Spinetic Spinners, Finetic EDC. This is pretty awesome though. I think it's well worth the wait. Like I was getting a little bit, what's the way I should phrase this? Like the hype and the excitement of getting this was dying out because of that super long wait. But now that it's here, this is actually way more fun than I expected it. So yeah, I'm very, very happy with this. Yeah, kudos, man. Job well done. I think the whole build quality of this thing, even though it's acrylic, this is really well done. The tolerances are really good. And there are no like teething problems with the spring and ball bearings like when we initially had with the original Tide, you know. So yeah, good job, man. I'm really surprised with this and I'm really happy with this product. I'm actually considering like dyeing this thing so I could get different colors here. I don't know yet. I just don't want to warp it because yeah, the tolerances are really, really good. I've seen pictures of a blue one. I might get that. That's so cool though. Damn it. What if I dye this like in black dye and then I get like a smoke grey color? Oh, that would be sweet. Okay, sorry guys, I'm just talking to myself right now. So I'll end this video by saying thank you so much for sticking all the way throughout and sharing in this slice of my life. And if you like the content that I'm putting out and you want to see more, please consider subscribing to the channel. And if you do subscribe, make sure that you hit the bell to be notified of any new uploads that I put out. Also, I run a Patreon page. I'll put a link up here to that in case you want to go check it out. We do have patron exclusive content as well as patron only giveaways from time to time. So if you do become a patron of mine, thank you so much in advance. It would really mean a lot to me. Oh, you know what I should do? Just give you guys a really quick size comparison before we close off the video. So this is what the Tide pool looks like next to a regular size lighter as well as a big XL lighter. And to top it all off, I have the classic stubby just for you guys to check it out. So it is smaller than all of the items here, except that it is the same size as the original Tide. It's a very pocketable size, I gotta say, and this is well worth the money, I think. Like, it's one of the cheaper options for a haptic coin. And I will catch all of you in the next slice of my life. Until then, everyone, gaga, boos.